Hi, I'm Mark, 33 from England. This is just a short clip to give some information and useful website addresses to anybody who might be considering having ETS surgery, endoscopic thoracic sympathectomy for blushing or sweating. I had ETS 10 years ago for excess blushing, and it was easily the worst decision I've ever made in my life. It has had massive effects on my health, and with it my ability to work, to exercise, to do anything that I used to previously enjoy and take for granted. And with it, the effect it's had on my family and friends as well. Seeing me having to deal with it and not being able to do what I used to do, it's massively affected them as well. I've had many side effects from the surgery, including the worst one is neurological problems and cognitive impairment over the left side of my head. Basically, feels like the left side of my brain doesn't work anymore. I feel very lightheaded, just feels blocked and weird, can't think clearly anymore, can't concentrate. I'm often not able to read for even a few minutes. It's really difficult to describe, but basically just feels like the left side of my head just left side of my brain doesn't work anymore. This despite seeing 9 neurologists, 30 doctors, and trying absolutely everything. It just, something just doesn't work anymore, and it's very hard to live with. Muscular tightness all down my left side. You can kind of see it in my face. It's very tight on the left side and literally goes from down my head, face, chest, deep in my body, down to my leg. Just a tightness, and no amount of stretching or physiotherapy or massage fixes it. It's always tight. Reduced circulation to my right hand. When I woke up after the surgery, my right hand was very cold, and it stayed that way ever since. It's just where the autonomic nervous system's been affected. For some reason, I don't get as much blood to this hand anymore. Don't know why, it's just the way it is. And it's just often cold, often quite painful. In the winter it's worse because it's particularly cold and get aching pains in the joints. Chronic pain to my left shoulder. It was worse initially in the first 2 or 3 years, not quite as bad now. It was a really deep, burning pain, really intense pain from underneath my left shoulder blade, near the operative site I suppose. Lasted for years. I had to take loads of painkillers for it. It has eased off a bit now, but I think it's all related to the tightness down my left side, which remains and I can't get rid of. Been diagnosed with heart rate and blood pressure problems, where the nerves that affect the heart have been cut. My heart rate now goes too high and stays there for too long, so that obviously has effect on blood pressure as well. I think that's why I often feel very dizzy as well. If I run up the stairs or something, that make me feel lightheaded. As I say, I permanently feel lightheaded, and that just makes it worse. I wasn't warned about any of these side effects prior to surgery, which makes it worse, and I think if you were having the surgery even today, you still wouldn't be warned about them. And I know there's a lot of other patients' experiences that they're not warned about these side effects either. I don't know why, but I think it's pretty unforgivable. You need to be given the information in order to make the right decision, and a lot of the time that's not the case. At the end of this clip you'll see some websites which give a lot of good information on patients' real life experiences and side effects experienced as a result of this surgery. These are not stories that you hear on surgeons' websites often, so if you are thinking of having this surgery, I'd really recommend you have a look at these websites and the information on them, and it'll probably help you to come to a decision. As I say, this is fact, it's not theory. These are side effects that people have experienced as a result of the operation. Many people, including myself, are told it's a very minor operation, but it's really not. the operation destroys part of your autonomic nervous system, which directly innervates your heart, your lungs, affects your blood pressure, circulation, everything, really fundamental functions in the body. And yeah, it's crazy that it's messed with, really. If you went and saw an independent neurologist here, and he'd tell you the function of all these nerves that are cut, a real long list of functions, and he'd probably be amazed that you were thinking of having this operation done, because as I say, these nerves, they're all there for a reason. They all have really fundamental functions, and to destroy them is really crazy. And in some people like myself, you see the consequences of destroying these nerves. It's just your body goes haywire and can't seem to recover. I remember thinking, if I could stop blushing, if I had this surgery to get rid of blushing, then everything would be okay, and my life would be a lot better. But that's really not the case. I've swapped a problem of blushing, which is like this big, to permanent, massively restricting health problems, which is like this big. So it's been an absolute nightmare, worst decision of my life for sure. And I still feel as anxious and still have the social phobia that I had before when I did blush. So now I don't blush, but I still feel every bit as anxious, still have social phobia problems. So don't think that by having this operation it's gonna cure everything just like that, because in my case it hasn't. The only other thing to say is I really regret not speaking to my family about it before I had the operation, family and friends. I was embarrassed about the blushing, so I just snuck off and had the operation done quietly without talking to anyone. I think if I would have spoken to people about it, then I would have realised that it wasn't as big a problem as I was making it out to be in my head. By speaking to people, it would have got rid of a lot of the anxiety as well. So I'd recommend to anybody not to rush into the surgery, to think about it, speak with your family and friends. I know it's hard, I know it's embarrassing, but speak to them about it. And after all, it's going to affect them. If you have the operation and it affects your health, it's going to affect them as well. So that'd be my advice. It's something that I wish I did. As I say, I know it's hard, but I'm sure it would really benefit you if you could speak about it. Anyway, coming up, here's the websites. Have a look at them. I hope there's some information that people find helpful, and good luck with your decision. Okay, bye.